people of religion always feel beleaguered by this, or the progress of science, saying, oh dear, we seem to be overwhelmed and science is winning and religions are going to be snuffed out. They feel frightened of science. What is happening in modern times is this. Look, my background is actually not religion, it is theoretical physics. So I come very much from the mainstream science lobby. I did my degrees at imperial physics and in quantum mechanics, and this is my central kind of drive. I love science. So how do I reconcile the ideas of Hinduism with science? This is what we are saying. As I said right at the start, we are suggesting that every disciplined human endeavor in any field, including science, will reveal a spiritual dimension. Let me show you in two places where it's visible now. Now, science of today, not science of tomorrow, today. You say, where? At the heart of physics, you see, physics is considered most pretentious of all science, saying, all you rest of you chaps, biologists even, and chemists, and sit at my feet and I sort you out. I am physicist. Because this is the most pretentious of all science. We got all the answers. Your DNA, your computer chip, we can explain everything. At the heart of the matter. Matter itself, we explain. We want to look at the nature of, fabric of reality, physics. So this is a pretentious science. In physics itself, there's a central discovery since the middle of 1920s that has thrilled the physicist. It has made them pull their hair out or sometimes stand up like with Einstein. What is that? It is something called quantum. This is what they've discovered. Heart of physics, I'm showing you spirit at the heart of science. This is what they are saying. This is not make-believe. This is not airy-fairy stuff. This is not hippie science. This is what it is. Look, it will thrill a person of religion. It is saying that despite appearances, the underpinning to this reality, this physical reality that we are sure about, this empirical world that we are so sure about, we take one pebble and click it with another pebble. Yes, empirical evidence, click, click, click. They are saying underpinning this material world, the thing that is underpinning it, that expresses itself as this material world, becomes visible as material, the thing underpinning, this is the finding of quantum physics, is essentially non-material. So we say, what is it then? It is not material because you've always been dealing with matter. So what is it? It is not matter, that's all we can say. This is called quantum. So here we find physics now affirming that the building block, the primary building block of this creation is non-material, and Richard Dawkins cannot fight that. This is physics, stronger than biology. This is the heart of physics, asserting that underpinning to this reality is essentially, we are claiming Hindus, is a spirit. That's what we've been talking about. It manifests itself like this diversity, but underpinning it is this grand thing, very fluid. This is the most exciting discovery in modern physics, cutting-edge discovery. If you go to Hindu Academy website, you get a link to Warwick University where I've done a big talk called Challenging the Paradigm of Materialism. This is where we need to go. Challenge materialism. Because Richard Dawkins is saying the virus that infected mankind and tremendous harm is the virus of religion. What is coming from Hindu religion is saying, no, the greatest virus to infect humanity is the virus of materialism. That you are nothing but matter and its epiphenomena. There's nothing more to you. We say that is the virus that has done tremendous harm because it reduced us to a lump of matter, taken away our dignity. And we have become materialists and we just chase after material things and we have lost the spiritual dimension. There's no way. Your physics is telling us the underpinning is non-material. We are saying it is spiritual. So in physics we discover this dramatic material. Let's look at the other science. Again, cutting edge. Neuroscience. Neuroscience. In neuroscience, the hard problem of neuroscience, all the scientists will tell you, is the problem of consciousness. What is this thing that we have that allows us to make sense of the world that we live in, give us access to reality? What is this consciousness? And we say, oh dear, what is it? So we ask Susan Greenfield, of course. She does lots of programs. What is the seat of consciousness? Which slice of the brain produces consciousness? And Susan Greenfield is a highly spiritual person. He said, don't ask. It is nowhere and everywhere. It seems to be everywhere and doesn't come out of any slice of the brain, guaranteed. They have not found anywhere to pinpoint it. So what is this thing that's bubbling up through us and looking out through our eyes? What is it? What is it? What is so? Is it just material? Is it just neurons? No. So it's not a chemical or electrical activity of the brain. There's more to us. When I present these ideas, of, if you like, consciousness, as if you like, reflection of our spiritual dimension, some scientists who don't like it, they don't like consciousness to come into science. They're materialists. They hate it. Mr. Lakan is not true. Consciousness is nothing but brain phenomena. Just some thing buzzing in your brain, giving that buzz that comes out as consciousness. There's nothing more to it. It's just electrical, chemical activity in the brain. They would tell me, suppose I come with a hammer and thump you on the head. Your consciousness will be gone. See, I was showing you, it came out from the brain, I thumped the brain, gone. Or suppose I inject you with anesthetic, you'll go, gone. So it can't be, it must be just brain phenomena. We just put an end to it. I said, oh no, I'll give you better metaphors. You must come up with that, and they like this one. Suppose a child enters this room and discovers the dimmer switch, starts playing with the dimmer switch. It goes one way, the light comes on, goes the other way, the light disappears. The child will immediately come to a conclusion that the switch is producing that. You can't blame him. This is what the scientists are doing. The Hindus are saying the brain is just the conduit of consciousness. It doesn't produce consciousness. It's just a conduit. It lets it flow through, or you can block it. So when somebody goes with a hammer and knocks out the switch, they don't kill electricity. They just destroy the conduit that was allowing electricity to flow through. So you're not touched consciousness at all. You're not produced it. You're not demolished it. You just destroyed the mechanism that was allowing it to flow through. So brain is, if you like, just a conduit of consciousness, not the producer of consciousness. So it's not a brain phenomena. It's not something coming out of matter. This is my professor with whom I did my master's, very famous, called Roger Penrose. He writes books on consciousness and quantum and all that. He's still trying to squeeze consciousness out of the microtubules of the neurons, the skeleton of the neuron, saying if I squeeze it, it won't come out. He's still thinking in material terms. Hinduism says, no, it is dramatically non-material. That's why you won't be able to find any roots in matter. It just uses this kind of complex, it needs this faculty in order for it to flow through. So even the animal kingdom is there, it's dull, but it's there. It's beginning to show up in all living things. And consciousness is a way of discovering spirit in neuroscience. When I talk like this, when I talk to youngsters like this, I like this stuff. Because they knew there was something special about themselves. And this person is affirming that consciousness too is, if you like, our spiritual dimension, becoming visible through our eyes. That's how we started the journey, making sense of the world that we live in. Trying to suss out what is our own essential nature. And in all this area we discover, in the physical world, in our inner world, we discover the spirit as the underpinning. And if you like, if you can't thrill anybody with this kind of message, what more can you do? And this is not something airy-fairy. It is in a way taking the challenge back into the science lobby and challenging them. Look, you discover things and you're not affirming, you're not prepared to give acknowledgement to your discoveries, which are essentially non-physical, non-material. You keep hiding it. But your science itself is declaring in no uncertain terms, the underpinning is non-material. Deal with it. Don't run away from it.
Free e-learning course in Hinduism. To register, please visit www.hindu-academy.com.
Talks on Hinduism, sponsored by People Care, encouraging caring for the elderly in their own homes. For more information, please visit peoplecare.com.